Okay, hello everyone. Happy March 1st. Happy Wednesday. I am Will, and I'm super excited to be here with you today. I have been away for a while. As many of you who follow me know, I'm now down in Brazil, and Carnival just ended. So I took some time off, and I'm really kind of reflecting about who it is and what I want to be when I grow up. So I am super, super excited today to have this conversation around kindness and joy. And who is a better person to have a conversation with joy with than the Queen of Joy, my soul sister, Cindi Cohn. She is absolutely somebody, we found each other here on LinkedIn and somewhere in the universe, and just absolutely connected. So, as the two of us have a similar journey, and I'm going to bring her up in a minute, we've been really starting to distantly, right, different countries, we've been starting to think about, okay, what does this mean? What kind of path are we on? And we were having a great conversation before everything started. I'm going to bring her up. Let her introduce herself to those of you who do not know her. I'm going to ask, while Cindi is speaking, I'm going to ask for everyone to type in where they're tuning in from, and if you are team live or team replay, and I will do my best to monitor the comments. Along the way, I encourage everybody to ask questions, share thoughts, because I love bringing those up and having the guests speak to it. So without further ado, one of my favorite people in the world, Cindi, is going to come up, and she's going to actually someday bring me to her land and introduce me to Dolly Parton. But that's another show. Here we go. Hello, the Queen of Joy.
That was awesome. I love that introduction. And I also want to say hi to all of our friends, Michelle and David in the chat. Joe's bringing the boom. We can't have a show without Joe and the boom. I am so excited to be here. Honestly, I don't think you missed a thing about how we connected, why we're connected, the universe bringing us together. You were one of my very first friends on LinkedIn. We connected as we were like, you're my brother, you're my sister, and boom. I mean, we just spoke the same language. We wanted the same things for humanity, and we just uplifted each other and uplifted the message. And it's just continued.
And I think what brought us together was this Dolly Parton thing. I quote her all the time. So she's definitely going to be part of one of these in the future.
I think about her all the time. I'm like, I'm so close in proximity to her. I'm like, somebody I've got to know will give me some in to Dolly. I mean, it's got to happen eventually. You know what? I'll just keep manifesting. I'm sure it will happen. And then as soon as I get the lunch date, you fly in and we are having...
If I'm down here in Rio, we'll have to, the logistics will be a little bit longer, but we've got people from all over the world tuning in. I do see Joseph, Michelle, David. I just love, right? And then we'll get into the heart of the conversation. I just love that you are creating a community. I've been creating a community. David and Michelle have been creating community. Joseph's here, he's my soul brother, right? He's
mine too, of course, because we're all related.
We're all related. And I don't think, you just said, none of it is happening by accident.
Agree.
We were talking in the green room earlier. There's this hunger, this need, right? You talk about joy, I talk about kindness. We've established that they're related. It's words, but that sensation and what you're doing and just showing up in life as that human being who actually cares about other human beings. You're letting go of the cruelty. You're using your presence and your energy to bring kindness and joy and that sense of that thing that we all long for, that connection to other humans.
Right? Relationships.
And so this community that's been growing and that we get to share is incredible. So I want to get into, I have so many questions for you. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anybody here on the comments. And then I want to bring up some questions for you.
Yeah.
Because you've been a busy lady. You've been a very busy lady since the last time we spoke.
Yes.
You published a book. You've launched your own website, you're creating this community. I want to hear more and more about what it is that you are doing
Really
because
has been. Yeah.
and the last thing I'll say is this. I love doing these kinds of interviews. They're taped. They're people watch them live with us. Most watch after the fact. But Cindi, you and I are on this mission. We need to be planting more seeds of kindness and joy. So I want to hear your story. So whoever is watching this or listening to this can know, hey, kindness is a good thing. Joy is a good thing. Let's speak about those things proudly. So,
Absolutely.
my
Yeah.
first question for you, before we go to talk about your book and all, I want to know. I have three questions for you. I want to know before you introduce all the other things you've been doing, what brings you joy?
It's funny that you bring that up because remember in the green room when we were talking about we're pre-programmed how we grew up because we're a little older than maybe some people. That's sad. But anyway, how we were pre-programmed to, you don't ask someone what brings them joy. It's like, what do you do? Where do you work? What are you? Okay. And I love your question because I don't really care about any of those other things. I care about your character, what brings you joy, what you do for kindness, and what inspires you. Those are the questions I ask when I meet someone. I really don't care what they do. Are you a great human? What are you doing?
Your
But
energy vibes, right? You and I we talk about this all the time. We can pick up energy, right? I picked up your energy, you picked up my energy, and it was through LinkedIn and social media, right? So that is a thing. You're able to make that connection. I love and I'm so proud of you because your journey, right? You've got this energy, you've done so much. How did you get the idea to publish your book? How
well,
did
that
that
is
go?
another funny story. That is, I mean, it's not funny, but you know how something bad can go full circle and then it becomes something good, right?
Right.
So it's like the silver lining. So I was having a horrible time in my life, deep, dark depression, couldn't get out of bed, like tears in my eyes, throat 24/7, not who you see today whatsoever. Okay. But I was woken up in the middle of the night, boom, boom, you are going to seek joy. You were designed for a life of joy. Start seeking it. This is not how I designed you to be. I went on a search for joy and choosing it every day and doing things. And the more I did it, the more joy was drawn to me. But getting back to, so there's so much you've asked and I want to cover. Energy is one of my favorite things to talk about. Your energy announces you before you ever even open your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm only attracted. Yay, Deb's here. Woo! Okay, sorry, I get a little excited. Sorry, not sorry. I would not actually be here today. Probably this year, I have really leaned in on Deb. We have been there for each other, as well as Michelle Cordy. So, life's not perfect. I'm just because I'm joyful does not mean my life is perfect by any stretch. It means I go through life choosing joy despite my circumstances. My
Correct.
circumstances are no different, no more joyful than anyone else's circumstance. I can promise you that. The people that know me know. Okay, my life is not I don't have roses falling, confetti, glitter everywhere I walk. That's not my life whatsoever.
Just part of the day. That might be morning coffee, and then you have a regular day.
That would be nice, but the reality is I have to wake up every day and actually make a decision. And some days by the minute, not gonna lie, some days literally, even most recently last week, by the minute, to have joy. And so it is something that we all can do. We all can have what I have. It's an intentional act of changing your mindset and your behaviors and your actions. And the biggest thing for me is my support system. These people right here, everyone on this, this is without a solid, great, uplifting support system. I wouldn't want to do this life,
Right,
really. I mean, there
right,
it's so important to have that.
right. You speak about community and being human, right? The like you just said, people will label us. Oh, she's the queen of the queen of joy. That you're always happy and like it's a
Not
film.
true.
That's not life.
No.
Or the label that's been attached to me, kind. I'm human. There are times that I am
Get
rude. I'm in a bad
frustrated.
mood.
You're sitting on
Yes,
a call for 4 hours for an AT&T rep or something like that. You're getting annoyed.
right. We're human, and that's what we choose, right? We need to choose, right? You're programmed. You're a joyful person,
Right,
right? But we both seek that. Many people seek that.
right.
I just love the fact that you're taking those active steps to put more joy out there, and I love that you tell your story, and not this buy my book or do what I say and your life will be nothing but joy 24 hours. That is
Not
not what people want.
and it's not the truth either. So I'm
No.
very authentic. You know that, and everybody who knows me knows that. What you see is what you get. There's no filter. This is it. The good, bad, ugly, and everything in between. And that's something I love about myself is that I can be who I am and I accept, like, maybe I'm not for everyone. That's okay. Not everyone's for me either. There's such joy when you get to the point where you love yourself. And that's kind of the foundation
Right.
almost sometimes.
So, Cindy, and my second question for you, right? We talked about joy. What brings it
I
for
didn't
you?
really say what brings me joy. And I do want to say this. What brings me joy is being my authentic self, but it's empowering other people to be their authentic self. So the way I look at it is I'm being an example to the world. If it gels with you and vibes with you, then maybe that will give you permission to be like, hey, I mean, she's out there with no makeup and her hair not done, and she's singing at the top of her lungs looking like a fool. You know what? That looks kind of fun. I wish that I could do that. Guess what? You can
You
do that.
can. Right.
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 So
And
that's kind of where I'm at.
so I think, okay, so question number one, what brings you joy? I'm with you on that. I do believe that as we go forward in life, you and I are so connected in so many levels. There is joy in seeing others succeed,
Totally.
others thrive. I absolutely have loved this format of introducing people to our different communities, but also I don't sense competition, right? This is primarily on LinkedIn. You don't sense this competition. Like, look at all the people in the comments that follow both of us, that cheer on both of us. That brings me joy,
Me
right?
too.
You
That's
can
our
do it on the
community right
virtual.
there.
Yeah, it's our community. And in your own community, right? Your neighborhood, your family, your church, your job,
Right,
wherever
right.
it is, you to know that your presence can make someone else's day just a little bit better, a little bit lighter.
Oh, yeah. If you don't leave my presence feeling a little bit better, lighter, happier, cheerful, more joy, then that I'm not doing what I intend to do. It's not my purpose in life. I mean, I
Now, I'm
really
going to ask you your second question, and the comments keep coming in. Lots of people making comments here. You're even being asked to sing by
Oh, yeah.
Deb.
What song?
Deb wants you to sing.
Um,
Let's
oh
see.
my gosh, Jennifer's here. Yay, thanks for coming. I can't believe you're here. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
it's really, really. Oh, here's Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer.
See, now Jennifer,
Wonderful.
here's a person that knows me in real life, actually. She is a newspaper reporter in the area.
Oh,
So
that's
she's met me in
wonderful.
person, and because you know, there's a lot of people on here that actually have met me in person, but people wonder, is she really like that? Only worse in person.
Well, I think it's wonderful because I've just been watching your evolution. And I'm loving this fact that now I've been doing this long enough that I can invite people back, because I
I
think this is something so
know.
interesting
We are
to.
totally different though than we were when we first started this,
Oh,
my first
oh
episode
my
with
God.
you.
I was afraid. I didn't know the camera. What am I going to do? And how, it goes back to bringing us joy. We love supporting one another, and there's some of us who may be more active than others and whatnot, but we come back, right? What's ours comes back.
That's right.
I'm going to ask you the
I
second
believe in
question.
you. Yes, go
Deb
ahead.
is asking you to sing Laverne and Shirley.
Can we spotlight her? She needs to help. So Deb and I have been singing Laverne and Shirley to each other for a year now. We were a little sad about Shirley though. But anyway, oh gosh, I can't believe you're asking me to sing. Let me think about that.
Maybe we can do like
Right.
LinkedIn.
We're gonna do it. Does that work?
Yeah, I think that qualifies. Now, my
Okay.
second question for you, I'm always interested, right? We're subject matter experts or people or seek uh, our opinions on things. I would love to know, how do you spot joy in others, right? How do you know real joy when you see it?
You can really see it actually. It's by people that aren't competing with other people. It's the people that uplift other people. Like for instance, I am doing a panel next week and it's about women empowering women for International Women's Day. And the women that I selected are all people that I see daily uplifting other women. And for no other reason other than we just love uplifting other women. Now, I uplift men too, but I'm not going to lie, have a heart for uplifting women. Um,
I
just
think that's wonderful. And as a guy here on this call, I really do understand that. And I've had this conversation with others because it's easier, me in this shell, to walk into circumstances and I will be treated very differently than you are because you're a woman. So I get that. I think that's a
it's true.
wonderful thing that you're doing.
It
It's
is.
totally right.
So, yep, there's a lot wrong with the world, but there's a lot right. And look at us. We're here. We're bringing the joy and the kindness, and we're causing a ripple effect on humanity. And each and every day, we take small steps towards that. And every small step matters, and it adds up. I've seen it in my own life. Just one person can impact the world. One person can make a huge
Right.
difference. It's happened to me. It's happened to you. So I just believe in the power of one, and we just have to keep going.
Right. If we could find a way, and then we're going to get to Jennifer's question here. There's a question here I put up on the screen. But if we could just impact just another person, and it's fine. I am someone who just started working on social media to entertain myself. I loved posting things, commenting things, and it grows. And I've met wonderful people from around the globe. And so it was just probably one person who interacts with another, and there's this community. Those who don't like our vibe, they don't have to consume our content.
Right.
And
And
that's
we don't
it.
have to consume other people's content that we don't like. Which
Exactly.
is
Now I
why
love,
which is honestly partly why I made the community
yeah,
that I have, because
because we want to get everybody to
I do want to
sign up
just,
for that.
because you brought that up, I don't want to forget to say this. So, when you're looking at the screen, you can't help by even forget the people's content, even the on the sidebar, all the news that's going on and every layoff and every
Yeah.
disaster and whatever. Okay. Like someone as joyful that chooses a mindset of joy, even me, and I know you'll agree with this. If we let the world's problems and the people and the comments weigh on us, it's really easy to get clouded, right, and not be as joyful. So for me, I needed a place that I know I can go and just see
Right.
things that uplift me and fill me, without seeing the negative. I needed that, and that's kind of the main reason why I initially went in that direction.
That's wonderful because that's probably what Jennifer's asking here. What is a source of resilience for you? And she loves you very much. I can see that.
And I love her very much. I don't love my hair very much today.
Hey, 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 some of us don't have any
Yeah, yours looks smashing. My source of resilience goes back to my why. My why is so much bigger than myself. So even though, and I said this, and several people know this, last week I went through my own personal funk. Okay. But then the bigger picture came out of me, that my why, I went back to my why I'm doing this, right, is for a bigger purpose in life. So I need to keep going. I'm human. I'm going to have setbacks, and I'm going to always be honest and tell you how it is, because I believe in vulnerability. That is the only way we're going to change this world, if people realize that we're more alike than we are different. We all have the same feelings. Different circumstances might be around those, but we all have feelings and they're all the same. So I'm always going to continue to be authentic and vulnerable and tell you life is not always joyful, but I can choose joy to go through it.
What I loved so much about what you just said was that you speak honestly, that you were in your own funk. And we were talking about, before the broadcast began, how we're of a generation that you didn't talk about things like that. You went to school, you got the right grades, you got the right job, you were with the right partner, and all that kind of stuff. And I think the reason that our communities are growing, and we're going to talk about your new community very shortly, I think they're growing because we're somehow, and this is going to lead to my third question. We're somehow.
I think we need a couple hours for this talk.
We need no, we need a series. We need a full series. What I think what is happening is that we, because we are of a certain generation, and because we are wanting to just live authentically, like what was when we were growing up is gone. People need to hear that joyful, kind, happy people like ourselves have bad days. We're in a mood. You can't turn that energy on just like a switch. And it's the self-care. I think that's what you do so well. I love how you talk about the self-care.
Oh yeah. So that self-care and energy go together. So I'm going to talk to you about that. So I protect my energy the best that I can. Am I perfect? No. But I try to keep my energy where it matters the most, and to the people that reciprocate also, and who just where I feel called to use my energy, basically. If I do not get into negative energy at all, like distance, goodbye, whatever. I totally block off negative energy. And that is how you maintain some peace and joy, by protecting your energy and your peace. So that's what I do.
I have a question for you. We never talked about this. Would you consider yourself a recovering people pleaser? I'm a definite people pleaser. I would have absorbed negative energy to be nice. To be nice. I don't do that anymore.
No.
Because if my energy
that's not good for yourself at all.
That's not good at all. So you would understand that. You come across, as I've known you come across as somebody who's very direct, very purposeful, but you and I've traveled the same road. We grew into that. We weren't always that.
Absolutely. Oh, goodness gracious. I think both of us, if we would have met 5 years ago, would have been different people for sure. Right. But we both use our voice now for where it matters. That's the difference, right, I think. And we'll both stand up for people and situations that we find just and right. And that's when it goes back to the woman thing that we talked about earlier. Right. I'm passionate about, there are so many women out there that are afraid because they've been pre-programmed, either culturally or just from living in America, whatever, pre-programmed to be quiet, just stay in your own lane, don't say anything. No, I'm going to stand up for those women when it's not right.
Yeah.
And I feel very good about that.
I love that.
That's right, sister.
Yes, being perfect's overrated anyway. And it doesn't exist. It only exists in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It exists in a movie. Okay, my last question.
Speaking of Hollywood, more and more now, I just saw like a couple of days ago, a lot of actresses are coming out and saying about all their anxieties and all their pressures and things that they're living with, which is just like everyone else here. But they're now being honest about it.
I was having a conversation last night at dinner with someone. We were talking about, in the States, the royalty was celebrities, right? We were programmed with magazines and talk shows that if you achieve that certain level of success and fame and money, that meant your life was perfect. It's anything but.
Right.
You can know people with little money. You can know people with tons of money. Humans are humans, and a mess is a mess. And it's all different degrees.
Life is complicated, right?
Cindy, that's where I found out in life, the good stuff, they keep the good stuff with the messy stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta go through the messy stuff to find that joy. Right?
Yes, agree completely.
Okay, I'm gonna want to open this up, and I'm gonna have to go back to the comments. Like I said, we're gonna need hours. This format isn't gonna work.
Oh, I love Brian. Can you put Brian's comment up? That could not be more accurate. Boy is discovering that the opinion of others do not determine your value. Boy, did I have a talk with a friend about that yesterday who's not on LinkedIn. All those shoulds and the things that you grew up with and you put on yourself unless you change your wiring, those things don't matter.
Right.
I mean, Brian has nailed it.
I can't find Brian. You have so many comments. Definitely going to have to go through these comments.
Hi, Randy, Lydia.
Let's see.
I'm so happy. Can we just hang out all day? All these awesome people are here. I wish we could pull them up here.
Here, I found one of Brian's comments. He's been active in the comments. Joy is discovering that the opinion of others do not determine your value.
Amen or amen.
Exactly. Let me ask you my last question. Then I want to really focus on the comments and ask everybody else to ask theirs.
Okay.
My last question, and it's going to give you the opportunity. We know you've published your book. People can find your book. You've launched a website, but this is my question for you. When did you realize you were supposed to be doing this, right? You have intentionally and on purpose gone out into the world to do what you're doing now, right? We're having this conversation. Like you said, 5 years ago, we wouldn't have. When did you realize you were supposed to be spreading joy?
Okay, so I'm going to answer it 2 parts. This is I don't think I've ever told anyone this. So a couple years ago, I was woken up in the middle of the night and I was told that you are going to be 99 and still be on stage speaking. Okay. And I just let it go. Like, okay, so I'll get on there at 98 and start speaking.
Like you were woken up, like
like God woke me up in the middle of the night. And that's the only time I can hear anything because I have ADD and during the day I'm like chasing squirrels. And so no one can really talk to me. So I was like, okay, I woke up that morning. I was like, okay, so I'll start speaking at 98. If I'm supposed to be speaking at 99 still. And then I told someone about that and they're like, you were supposed to be starting now, like yesterday. Like you're not waiting till 99. Right. So that was like a while ago. Then I went through this crisis at home that propelled me, like I talked about earlier, this major depression, not myself whatsoever, couldn't function. That propelled me into journaling, was part of getting out of it. The journal part I still kept in the book because it's part of the book now. So when I got through to the end of the book and I realized, wow, I'm a different person.
Right.
Then but I didn't know I was writing a book. Like I was writing to myself. Okay. And I was like, if it helped me, then it can help other people. And I believe, based on the feedback of the people that I've heard, I don't think they're just telling me this. I have had multiple texts and letters and things. The book has helped a lot of people. So yeah, I am thrilled with that. I'm, hope to spread my message much wider and larger on, if I could be on a stage of 10,000 women, I say women again. I love women, nothing against men. I
Yep,
just
I get it.
have a feeling for women, and I've walked in those shoes. That's probably what it is. And I have a lot to say, to speak power and truth into them, to empower them to be all they can be and all they're designed to be, which is more joy.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. The comments are just bubbling over here. I know I'm going to miss so much, but this one caught my eye. Dr. Nurse Tina Morris. I help nurses achieve more joy, also trying to create a ripple tsunami of awareness of
Love it.
our power in mindset and creating our own happiness. That's what it is, right, Cindi? You and I
Oh,
we have the same mindset.
we need to connect. Yes, we are on the same page.
We
And you know who
really,
else needs that same, besides nurses, as if we're talking about careers? Teachers. Poor teachers. Don't get me started on that. Like, it breaks my heart right now, what they're going through.
now here's the part of where we really need hours, because I'm going to tell a story. I was here at my niece's graduation, right? She's young, she's 6 years old, and it was the end of the school year when I first arrived. And the absolute love that the teachers had for the 6-year-olds, right? And so this is here in Brazil. I'm used to the American. I grew up in New York, and it's a different thing. Pure love, pure energy, children loving the teachers. It was the same time as the World Cup. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, here's this woman. She was in tears, Cindi, absolutely in tears, because she had to say goodbye to these small children she worked with, right? Because
Love
they were
that.
graduating and they were,
Yeah.
and then you start seeing the imbalance, right? Great, there's soccer, football, World Cup, and there's lots of money being made, but the salary of a teacher is not anywhere near that. And so all go in for it, talking about these professions that have traditionally been women's.
Right.
They need to be recognized and lifted up for what they really are. You are creating an entire generation of thinking and mindset. So more power to you,
Happy
sister.
that there's so much change going on in the world and upheaval a little bit, because it's going to shake things up, hopefully in the right direction. Hopefully.
So now I want to ask anyone else, and I will stop talking so I can bring this on up. I want to ask if anybody else has any questions. If I've missed any, just ping me again. We've got the Queen of Joy here on the screen, so we might as well ask a live question. And I will do my best to be a good facilitator.
I do think, though, it's important to touch on kindness as well, and not only joy on this call, because there is so much that we can do for kindness. And I know we have a lot of people listening today, and they're probably the people that already are kind. But there's just, kindness is free. That's what's so amazing about kindness, right? Everything we can do to be kind, even smiling, is free. And I just want to encourage everyone to write that thank you note, smile at someone, do something, like pay something forward, instead of saying, thank you. I mean, say thank you, but then say, pay it forward. Remind people to pay it forward when you do something nice for someone. So
the kindness piece I'm going to speak to. I talk about this a lot. I created an audio event. I discovered kindness when I stopped being nice. I've got this whole series that I talk about. Don't call me nice. Don't call me a diplomat. I spent my whole life in those roles. So there's a difference between nice.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if Deb's still on here, she calls me sassy pants or something. You can still be sassy pants and be the Queen of Joy.
Yes.
Right?
And you could be the queen, the king, the whatever.
Right.
You show up authentically.
Yeah, I'm sassy
It's
pants.
your energy without cruelty, right? It's without cruelty, but most
Speaking
important,
the
it's
truth. Speaking
direct.
the truth. Right.
Yes, that's it. We said it the same time in a different way. It's truth. It's being direct. Now, there are a couple of questions here. Brian has a question. Can you talk about how your faith journey has impacted your joy journey?
Well, the faith part is where the unconditional love and forgiveness was taught and I don't know, progressed. And that those two things, when you have that, it helps with your joy because you forgive the people that hurt you. You show unconditional love even when you don't want to. And those things give you joy that take away a lot of that pain and a lot of the anger and resentments. So that I would say is the part that brings me joy, if that
That,
makes any
yeah,
sense.
no, that makes total sense. And I love what you said. Forgiving others, that's healing for yourself. It's not
Right,
about the other.
right,
It's a different thing.
right.
We have another question from Mikkel, who's from Austria. Worldwide audience here, Cindy. Keep that in mind.
That's so
Worldwide
cool.
audience.
I love that.
Where can we find true happiness and lasting joy? I have an answer, but you're the queen.
I think it's all in the comments. All these people are saying within yourself.
Yep.
Everybody is saying it, and it's the truth. It starts with you. And if you go back to what I said at the very beginning, for me, the foundation of when I started really getting it is when I found myself, my own voice. I was like, I don't really care what other people think of me. I'm not for everyone. Everyone's not for me. That's okay. When I really became okay with who I was, and I'm like, if I want to sing, dance, party, all this, what I like to do, I send videos to people that are crazy every day. If I want to be my authentic self and be like a 5-year-old kid, then I will. And that's what makes me me. And I love it. And I love myself. And that brings joy.
And it goes back to those that don't like it. They don't have to be nasty or negative. They just
Move
don't
on.
like it. Yeah, exactly. David Hansen has a question here. What's your best practice to experience more joy? Like, oh, that's a really good question.
Well, the first thing, and I've done this for probably 20 years, this before I knew about even joy, probably. When I open my eyes in the morning, I literally say thank you. And I have major gratitude that I'm alive. I was chosen to wake up today. That means my job's not done. That means my purpose is still unfolding. So that's how I start every morning. And when you start like that, you realize that each day is a gift. And again, I want to always throw this in because I don't want anyone to think that I walk on freaking roses because I do not. I make choices every day, sometimes by the minute, like I told you. But I always wake up and I'm always grateful and thankful and say, how can I use my mouth, eyes, feet, hands today to better the world? Always.
So there's a bunch of comments in here. I'm making sure that I will respond to them after the
I want to
broadcast.
be in a room with everybody that's in the comments. Like that would be the best party ever. Seriously. What
about this?
Joy party?
You've got a platform. You've got your website. Isn't there something we can do? Like
this is just
like
so
a
much
Zoom
fun.
room.
We have the best people here.
We do have the best people here, and you and I could moderate it, right? We do a Zoom, so it's not the chat, right? We do the whole multiple people in a box. That would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So I want to bring this up because now I want you to talk about your website, the community you've been building, and I believe I have your name is not Brett, but you get the point. Cindi.com. I'm gonna correct my error here. the miracle of technology here. I want you to talk about your website, the
Okay.
community that you're building, and I'm putting it up here on the screen because your
Okay.
name is
He wants
Cindi,
me
not Brett.
he wants
There
me
we
to
go.
plug myself, so I will plug. Okay, my book was a bestseller on Amazon when it first came out. Not so much anymore, but it's still a bestseller to me. Um, and it's still actually going all around the world. Like I had someone in Germany buy it this week. I was like, that's really cool. Um,
That's really
so
good.
yeah, I have like 45 5-star reviews. I do think it
That's
helps a
great.
lot of people get in the mindset of looking for the little things in life that are the big things. And
Exactly.
those are the things that bring joy. Um, my website, it is my website. It's about to have merchandise. Ta-da! Hats.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
yeah. And it has a section called Join My Community. That is new. And what that's all about is I formulated it because I wanted an escape from the negativity that I have to see on social media when I scroll. It was bringing me down. And I thought, hey, I want a place of respite. I want a place of joy that I can go. And there's not going to be anyone in the comments being negative. There's not going to be
Right.
racism and anger and hatred. None of that's there. Just joy and happiness. Does it mean, again, we're perfect? No. There will also be things that will say, like things like to uplift you during the day, reality, things that give you hope in a day. So I sing and dance on there. We have a live chat, so you can live, with people who are on the site at the same time. We have
Yeah.
a section for bartering services, like, oh, I need my website done. Oh, can you help me? I'll give you an hour of coaching. Can you help me with this? Like, we barter services. It's a great place to be. So
I joined, as you know, and I was
if
away. And absolutely, Cindi, I just have to say that it's amazing because I honestly want to be more active now that I'm back in the city and out of the mountains and back in the real world, as they say. I'm going to really be able to do that because what I've experienced so far is just what you said. You've created this website, you talk about who you are, you're showing up, you're publishing, and the comments, everyone is in a good mood. Everybody is
it's
trying,
true, right?
not trying, everyone is bringing their authentic self to the community.
I'm
And
singing Deb's song. Joy, joy.
yeah, there's Deb. It's great, Joy.
And Brian wants a block party. Let's do it. I I actually
Okay.
am. That's also going to be part of the community. I'm going to be doing retreats in the future.
Now, do you have well, we'll put it out there because there's a large community. We should figure out how we do a virtual party in one of these scenes
Oh, it's
with
not hard at all. I've been doing virtual team building for 2 years.
oh, of
I
course.
got you. I got
Yeah,
you.
thank you. I could do two at a time,
Hey,
maybe.
I'm the queen of joy. You're the king of kindness. We can take on the world.
Yeah. Is that kind of like homecoming king and queen
Yes.
or something like that?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh
we
my
could do
gosh, that would be so
that.
fun, right? What we could do is like an 80s prom and we can like
Oh my
all
God.
dress up. That'd be so fun.
But don't they say if you're around for the styles the first time around, you're not supposed to do it again? I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe that's in your everyday life, but a party is a party. Well, Cindi, we've gone a little bit over. We're coming to the end. What is it that you want to share, right? For anybody
I
watching
want to
now, or
thank
watching.
everybody for coming today. You guys made my day more than you know. It just filled my heart with joy to have you here. And I hope that you guys left here as my mission and as Will's, that you would leave with more joy than when you got here. I hope that's the case.
That's wonderful. And my favorite quote, and it goes back to Dolly, goes back to what brought us
That's right.
together. Find out who you are and do it on purpose. Cindi, you are doing it on purpose.
Yes.
I'm doing it on purpose. And anybody who's watching or listening to us, you can too. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to inspire you. Well,
We got
maybe a
turtle
t-shirt.
hacks for $9.99.
Yeah. But right, and that's what we do in this community. We lift one another up, we help one another, and anybody here watching, and Cindi, this goes for you again too, however we can support one another. The world needs more of what we're doing.
That's
You can
right.
see it in the activity in the comments here, and you can see it in our daily contents, and certainly what you're doing with your new community. We're hungry for it. There's way too much negativity, and I thank you, dear soul sister,
Thank
for
you for bringing
creating
me
this
on
space.
and giving me more joy today.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mwah.
Continue being you on purpose, and you could do a recorded version of Laverne and Shirley and send it to Deb later.
Oh, yes. Oh, she has videos. Don't worry.
Okay, everybody. Thank you, Cindi.
Okay,
We'll talk soon.
bye.
See you next week.